NNF After Dark is brought to you by Sandpiper Vacations. For all of your vacation planning needs, visit www.sandpipervacations.com. Tell them that the No New Friends podcast sent you. Welcome to NNF After Dark. Chris is going to take you through the highlights of the previous episode and maybe even say some bad words, plus celebrity interviews and much, much more. And now, here he is, the scumbag reselling hoarder himself, Chris Yob.
Welcome to episode 4 of No New Friends After Dark. Should be called During Dark. We're going to talk to our producer about that. It's still dark out. It's not yet light out. But anyway, don't let me ramble on. I've been drinking. We are in virtual studio with Sarah, our resident Jew. We are in virtual studio with Scott, our resident obese host. And
hold on, easy killer with the obese jokes. Okay,
I am on the verge.
One sandwich away from diabetes.
I'm on the verge, Scott. I'm on the verge. The reason why I'm even naming who's here tonight is because we have someone that I cannot wait for you to meet again. We talk about him every single week on our segment. What are you doing this week on This Is? We have our emotional support gay who's helped me through a lot of emotional problems, Nick from Sandpiper Vacations. Nick, how the hell are you doing?
Konnichiwa. I'm scared to be here, but excited. I don't know what kind of jobs you're going to come up with me for tonight, but we'll see.
Sarah says the same thing when she's around an oven.
Listen, so we have Nick from Sandpiper Vacation. I'm so excited because I have so many fun ideas. I'm just glad he's not here in person because these fun ideas would have been...
And I would do them too. I don't even know what they are. Don't know what they are, but they sound fun.
putting the twister board back in my closet. All right, so we do have Nick from Sandpiper Vacations here, like I said, for the 4th time in a row. And we have such a fun episode planned for you. We're going to get to know Nick again. And I say again because he was on before with us, but we didn't really get to know him. Like he said before we started recording, this was business, Nick. Now we invite him on No New Friends After Dark. Anything goes in After Dark. No holds barred. It's a street brawl, if you will.
That was a good movie, by the way. Did you ever see that movie, No Holds Barred?
No, I'm 27, Scott. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Hulk Hogan and Zeus, and then there was like a steel cage match afterwards, pay-per-view. No, good movie.
Nope, we're gonna cut continue. That because we just lost half of our millennial viewers. So don't even remember what I was saying now. Thanks, but yeah, exactly. So we have Nick from Sandpiper. We're gonna get to know him again. Like we said, I'm just repeating myself because I'm trying to before Scott so rudely interrupted me. Listen, I don't host much. This is my 4th episode hosting, Scott. 5th, actually. I don't want to talk about the first one.
Hey, but listen. That episode that you hosted, that's what inspired Chris's Cliff Notes. So
that is
some good came out of that.
So like literally 3 minutes out of the episode were good of me on the mic. I want to get to know Nick because, like you heard in the episodes, Nick has been sending me. He's been teabagging me. He's been cream nutting me. He's been sending me all these packages.
Sending you spotted dick.
Listen, he showed me. Yeah, he sent me a spotted dick. Nick is, first of all,
I get around. I'm sorry.
I have a question though. Is your husband ready to kick Chris's ass yet? Because
he encourages it.
Seems like there's something going on virtually.
Yeah.
What's that?
He
encourages.
That's how we roll.
See, okay, so so not only are we going to dive into the legs of Nick.
You're diving into my legs now?
Listen,
so to speak. Early for that.
So to speak. So we're also going to dive into his brain as well, and his mind, and his persona. We want to know more about him. We need to know more about this mysterious Nick from Sandpiper. Because listen, if you're smart, you're booking your vacations through him. But if you're really smart, you're just booking him. I don't even know what I'm saying here. let's get into this. Somebody ring the bell. We should have a bell ring. No holds barred. Ding, 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 ding. All right, so if you're just starting to listen to this, we're just gonna have a little conversation with Nick, but then we're gonna get into a segment that I'm very excited for. It's gonna be called Q and Gay with Nick. Spoiler alert: Nick's gay.
Spoiler. Don't want to tell anybody yet.
Spoiler alert. If you didn't know by all our commercials, he's the owner of Sandpiper, the LGBTQ plus owner of Sandpiper Vacations, the sponsor of this here show. But first of all, Nick, I want to get to know you a little bit. So you say Scott brought up the thing about about would Sean want to kick my ass? You say that's how we roll. So you guys have a pretty relaxed relationship, you and your husband.
Yeah, we basically relationships based on just bickering at each other, but like in a fun way.
Sounds like me and Scott.
Yeah, so it's just like your relationship.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you guys bicker about?
I mean, we just call each other out on our shit. Like he.
Oh, okay.
Scott's like, wow, like these gay people are just like me, huh?
No, I know. Listen,
what do you bicker about?
There's so many.
Listen,
I say there's just so many couples out there that we see that are just like not just lovey-dovey, but like I just feel like they're fake, and to us, we're just ourselves.
No, 100%. But what I really want to know.
Hold on, I gotta tell you real quick. I've been married twice. Once ended in divorce. I'm with my wife now. I got to tell you, if this doesn't work out, I'm going to become gay, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because it's like hanging out with a buddy all day. I mean, like Chris, how cool would it be if we were a gay couple?
Well, first of all, Scott, a lot of this is going to be touched on in Q and Gay, and I hope a lot more. And I hope a lot more is touched on in Q and Gay. But we'll get seriously. But we'll get into that later. But no, seriously,
cool.
yes,
yes,
100%.
It's just, I mean,
100%.
All right, I don't want to spoil it.
Listen.
I'll just let you.
That's just the tip. We're gonna get to more later. But getting a little mushy gushy here, Nick. Where did you and Sean meet?
Where did we meet? It's been.
Are you both from the same state? Like, are you both local?
Yes, we both live. I'm from Lima, Ohio. I live in Columbus. Been here for about 20 years now. If you've not heard of Lima before, there was a TV show called Glee.
Yes, I love Glee.
Yep.
It was based in my hometown. Nothing to do with my hometown. We were not that fancy.
That's pretty cool. Though.
Yeah, but he's from about originally 40 minutes south of Columbus, and then we met 2009. In person finally, but we had chatted online prior to that on a Columbus dating website, and nothing ever happened for about 3 years, and then reconnected.
Oh, very cool. Yeah. So it wasn't a work thing. It was an online thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So just back in the day, 2009, you said.
Yeah, been together in gay years. That's like 300 years now, I think, right?
So I was gonna say that's like you guys are like dead, basically.
I mean, we moved. We knew it was right away. We moved in together after about 3 months, I think. So in the gay world, it's I guess pretty quick. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
No. Well, in the lesbian world, it's like moving truck on day 2. I think. Yeah. Is it different in the gay world?
The gays, it's changed a lot over the past 12 years now or whatever. But I feel like before there wasn't gay couples that lasted longer than 3 months. So.
Right.
Like, let's do it now and try it and get it out of the way instead of wasting a year.
So you and Sean meet in 2009. You have a regular 9-to-5 job that you started when and what year? Because I'm trying to get this timeline together. So when did you start you were in alcohol, correct?
Yeah, I've been actually in alcohol and promotional marketing sales and since about 2006 now. So
I've never heard you thank Scott for keeping you in business.
I worked for Bud Light. Bud Light was my first beer company I worked for, and then I worked for Miller Lite and Coors Light for about 8 years through a marketing agency.
Okay, so what year did that start?
2010 was the first year.
Okay,
yeah.
So year after you met Sean. So you're together with Sean in 2009. You start your bread and butter basically in 2010. When did you start Sandpiper Vacations?
So 2018, I think, was when I first became a travel advisor. I was through another travel agency for 3 years and decided during the pandemic when nobody was traveling, what a better time to start a business about traveling when nobody can travel. right?
Literally, everybody's making like these. Everyone's buying 3D printers during the pandemic, printing things and selling them on Etsy. You're doing what everyone's not doing, which is strangely admirable.
I feel like COVID for us was completely different than every other couple we've been around because Sean works in retail. I worked in liquor sales, so we were both essential employees. We did.
Okay. So nothing really ever stopped.
It got worse for us. It got busier.
Right. Yeah. That's when I became an
exactly.
alcoholic.
We were hitting record sales in the liquor industry, and yet we still laid off a couple people just because the bars were closed. But liquor stores is like Black Friday every day.
You know what's interesting, Nick, is your timing with starting Sandpiper Vacations was during COVID. That's actually brilliant, and I'm going to tell you why. Because if you were paying attention at all to what the experts were saying the travel trends were going to be over the next couple of years, that was the perfect. I mean, it would be like buying stock in Amazon mid 2019 or Uber or Zoom, because the 2021-2022 travel market has been insane.
It's been nonstop. I left my liquor job last year in September to pursue this full time now, just because I was so busy that let's be honest, I wasn't working much the last year in the liquor job since I don't work for them anymore.
Chris can relate. He doesn't work much in general.
Yeah, it's a hard job, but somebody has to do it, Nick.
So I've been doing that, and it's been nonstop, and we're very happy with where things are going, and very thankful for our clients that have been booking vacations, because like you said, I worked in marketing. I knew people were going to get back out there and travel, and people are traveling hardcore right now.
Oh yeah. Well, they're making up for lost time, man. I mean, we had those a couple of years where we were shut down. We got to get out there. So how supportive was Sean when you took this leap from your 9 to 5 to some, I'm not going to say pipe dream, but to a lot of people that don't have that entrepreneurial mind, that's a pipe dream to a lot of people. Like, people don't understand that.
Yeah. And I'd always thought that I was going to start my own business, but I thought it was going to be in the alcohol industry, because I've been working in alcohol sales since 2006, and
the moonshine that you were making in your basement just didn't pan out, right?
People didn't like that.
Sarah's trying to get into the weed sales industry.
I've done that before.
One of my old coworkers in the liquor industry left the liquor industry to do that out in California. So it's where people are going now too.
So Sean was
a lot of money.
So your husband was supportive of this, of this leap of faith.
Yeah, 100%. He's the one that pushed me to go branch off on my own, and he's my biggest supporter. And we do it together. He's hopefully eventually going to get out of his job in the retail industry and work with me full time on it, which is scary to work together, but amazing at the same time.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's awesome. There's people that can work with family. There's people that can't work with family. There's people that can work with spouses. There's people that can't. I don't know. You guys seem like you have a good relationship enough to be able to, separate work from home and just be able to work together. It's awesome. Owning your own business is so cool, Nick. And that's why we love supporting you. Every week I try to come up with some killer ad to because I know we have the same
and the shower too.
And listen, when I'm thinking of my ad, and when I'm thinking of you in the shower, I'm planning my ads.
I appreciate that.
Listen, I have to separate the two.
I think it's very safe to say that Chris, especially, but Chris and I are a little bi-curious, right?
Again, Scott, we're gonna get into this in the Q&A.
Okay, my bad. Sorry, God, I'll just shut up. Sorry.
You're jumping the gun.
Listen, I'm a control enthusiast. I jump the gun every night with my wife. She doesn't like that.
You try. Listen, I'm shutting you down just like your wife does. You gotta wait, man. You gotta be good. Be good, Scott. Be good. And then maybe you'll get more than just the tip. So I don't even know what I'm saying. Look at how hard Scott is an amazing host. Horrible co-host.
Very distracting.
Very.
and you're an amazing co-host and a terrible host. So it works out.
Yeah. We balance each other out. We're both fat though, so we both have that going for us.
We finish each other's sandwiches.
Yeah. Hey, that's what I was gonna say.
So, all right. So we'll get more into Sandpiper in another episode. I just kind of want to just scratch the surface with it, because I just want people to know about a little bit of your history. I think you have such a cool history, and I love that you took that leap of faith, because I knew you when you didn't have just the travel agency. It was you had both going on. That was very admirable. to me, just being in small business my whole life. Thought that was so cool of you. I'm just happy any way we can support you.
Thank you.
I book my vacations through you. I think everyone else should. You're great at it. You make everything seamless. But anyway, before we get into the funny part of this segment, I do want to know, I do want you to let people know, how'd you come up with the name Sandpiper Vacations?
So we went back and forth. We're huge Disney nerds, so we kept trying to find Disney puns that every Disney travel agency has used. There's 800 magical travel agencies out there. So it kind of became full circle and was actually my husband's idea, so I'm going to give him the shout outs for that. But our daughter's name is Piper. We named her after the sandpiper bird from the Disney short Piper. If you've not watched it, go YouTube it. It's really cute, about a bird.
It's amazing.
Born and learns how to fly or how to swim in the beach and stuff like that. And
yeah.
So it kind of spun off really well, and we love the idea that we could incorporate our daughter into it because she means so much to us. So.
Oh, it's amazing. And we're friends on Facebook, so I see all the pictures you post of your family. Actually, I'm follow you on Sandpiper Vacations on Facebook, and I see all the pictures you post of your family. Piper's the cutest little girl in the world. I love seeing her on all your adventures.
She's amazing. And I'm mad I didn't get pictures yesterday. She was jumping on our neighbor's trampoline in a Cinderella dress. You know, why not?
That's amazing.
Every time I tell someone about Sandpiper Vacations, in the next 45 seconds that I'm talking to them, I always say, "Oh, and you know their business is named after their daughter, who's named after the short, and he's got a tattoo of the piper, the sandpiper on his the bird on his." I just think it's the coolest, sweetest thing. I think when you start your own business, you're making it personal. You're including your whole family. I think that's the coolest thing in the world. All right, and that's my sentimental moment. Now let's get into the fun stuff. So I did mention in the beginning of the episode that we are going to be doing a segment called Q and Gay. We're calling it Q and Gay. I said because it's going to be questions from straight men and straight women to a gay guy, Nick. So Nick, my first question: why are you gay?
Wait, I thought we were doing this in segment two.
I'm kidding. We're going to get...
What's this episode rated? And I'll let you know.
We're going to get to Q and Gay right after the break. You're listening to NNF Friends After Dark. We'll be right back. There are 3 things that I hate in life: taxes, nausea, and booking vacations. The first 2 I'm stuck with, but for the third, I use Sandpiper Vacations. Sandpiper Vacations is a small business that is LGBTQ+ owned and operated with travel advisors all over the country. Whether it's a cruise, a trip to a theme park, or an all-inclusive resort, Sandpiper has you covered. Oh, and I forgot to mention, it's free. Why book a vacation when you can have someone else do it for you? That's like choosing to take the stairs in a building that has an elevator. Leave the headaches of booking a vacation to someone else. Get your quote today at www.sandpipervacations.com and tell them that the No New Friends podcast sent you.
Hey everybody, it's Scott from the No New Friends podcast. If you'd like to hear all of our episodes, all of our past episodes, just visit our website, nonewfriendspodcast.com. All of our links to all of our old episodes are there. If you didn't understand an inside joke or just wanted to re-listen to something, just check it out. It's nonewfriendspodcast.com, or you can check us out on all streaming platforms.
You are still listening to No New Friends After Dark. You're still listening because guess what? This is a podcast and it's not a radio. You can't change the channel. Too bad. You're welcome. We're here with Nick from Sandpiper Vacations, but you already know that because you were just listening 45 seconds ago to us. We are getting ready to play Q and Gay. Questions from a straight man and woman and other man to a gay man.
We need like the rainbow shooting star with like the more you know.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Nick. I'll tell you what. I was like in my head, I'm thinking like, man, I got to do a theme song for this, and I got to do like a graphic, and that will come because I want to bring Q and Gay back. I want this to be a reoccurring segment because like there's so many questions. I don't know if this is me, and Sarah, I don't know if this is just me, but there's so many questions I have.
Listen, I did, but I worked in the theme parks long enough that
everybody's gay.
Funny story. Yeah, everybody's gay. So here's the thing. I took ballet. It's a little known fact. Yeah, I took ballet in like the middle school time period, and I definitely did not understand what gay was then. But then working at Universal, that was like my first real exposure to a different people who were not the same as me. I don't know if there's a better way to say it. And I remember Captain Ron was the first gay man that I like met, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's gay. And then this other guy, Igmar. And I would ask Igmar questions all the time, and he was definitely like, "Oh, you're definitely bi-curious." I'm like, "No. I like the pussy. I like the pussy a little bit too much to." And speaking of pussy, manscape. No. So, but I was always very, very curious because I'm one of those. It's not I'm one of those believers that it's not a choice. It's just who you are, and let's embrace that and love that and all that. So, but of course that opened up so many doors to questions that I had and all that. So I asked those questions a long time ago. So it's just you. That's the point of that.
It's just me. So Nick, I always wanted to have like a really good gay friend. Now I do. So thank you for being my gay friend. Because
I'm your emotional support
I have lesbian. Yes, you are. I have lesbian friends. I have plenty of those.
So now Chris can officially say, "Hey, I'm not homophobic. I've got a gay friend."
I don't have to say that in New Jersey, Scott. That's not a thing up here.
That's true. That's true.
So we have rainbow flags flying out, all over the place. Down there, it's like they get shredded down there. I don't know, Scott. This is something you got to figure out on your own. But up here, listen, it's different. A lot of lesbians going around, but I don't have any gay friends. And I refrain. I did have a gay guy kiss me on the cheek one time, and I didn't not like it. I thought it was fine.
That's how we say hello.
So listen. Exactly. Listen.
For Sarah.
So listen, my first question to you is a question we asked 2 weeks ago to Remy on Remy's Roundtable and Scott. This is going to be a very hard question for you. And I'm curious to see how you answer this because I know how a straight person would answer this. It's a difficult question to ask. We played Would You Rather a couple weeks ago on No New, but this actually wasn't No New Friends After Dark. This was No New Friends After Dark. And the question was, would you rather sit on a dick and eat cake or sit on a cake and eat dick?
I love cake. I'd rather eat the cake.
Eat the cake and sit on the dick.
See, cake and sit on a dick. Okay.
See, I'm afraid to sit on a dick, so I would sit on the cake and eat a dick. And I think I'm confident with my sexuality. I think I just do it professionally in a professional manner. A cake sounds like a soft spot to sit on.
Listen, I mean,
I've been married. Hear your reasoning?
I've been married for 7-8 years almost. I'd rather have the cake.
It's funny. Here's the thing. There's not that much difference between a gay couple and a straight couple because my wife would rather have the cake too.
There's been plenty of nights that it's like we put our daughter to bed and we're like, okay, do we want to like have some adult time? And then we end up eating cake.
Talking about the actual cake and not ass, right? Okay. Just making sure. Okay. So
sometimes that is adult time.
Yeah.
If you have kids, you have to hide with
That's why I put on weight during COVID. It was definitely the cake.
All right. My second question is how cool is it? And do you do this? I don't know if you do this. Because listen, I'm in an opposite sex relationship. So we're both sitting on the couch, watching a TV show, watching a movie, and a girl pops on the TV, right? Really attractive looking woman, right? Wearing maybe nothing. Maybe she's not wearing anything. Maybe we're watching porn. I don't know. So say we're watching something. I can't say to her, hey, that woman's hot. That'd be weird. I got slapped in the face. Now you're in a same-sex marriage. You guys both like the same sex. So like, are you watching movies and like, oh man, John Stamos.
All the time.
Man, really?
Yeah, I mean, from basically day one, I feel of us starting our relationship, we just kind of like, you know what? We're going to find guys out there that are attractive. We're going to find girls. We look at girls too. We love boobs.
Yeah? Well, everybody loves boobs. I don't think that's fair. That's not fair. You're still gay, Nick. I hate to tell you. Break it to you. They're just cool.
It's an appreciation.
Yeah, exactly.
For
They're fun.
Well,
I probably touch more boobs than Scott. Throwing that out there.
That was really good. That was really
also
good.
Not hard to do.
Listen, no, I've touched a lot of boobs. Okay, so that was like I thought that was like a home run. Like when I was in like high school, middle school, if I felt a girl up, I was like home run. And like, no, dude, that's like first base.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
That's nothing.
Yeah. So what's funny is, Chris, that's not like my wife and I all the time. Like we have our Hollywood bucket, our Hollywood hall pass. Mm-hmm. And we share some of the same people. Like Natalie Portman and Mila Kunis are on both of our lists. My wife all the time will be like, "Oh, look at her rack," and she doesn't get mad if I say, "Wow, look at her rack," because she's already seen the rack and is upset that I haven't already seen it. So it's not like I don't know. Maybe you and Emily should have some conversations about this.
Well, we're only a year married, so maybe those conversations will come.
Yeah. Sarah, how are you? Like with you? Do you point things out to your husband, or does he get slapped if he?
No, he looks at if it pops up. He's just every time.
Oh my
the
god!
Eyes.
Straight people.
Okay, speaking of gay. Of gay. No, but Lewis. See, here's the thing: Lewis seems like he's more of an ass guy than he is a boob guy. So he can do the very easy, like, hey, like turn in advance for the walk by, so that they just ended up in my line of sight.
Wow, they're getting up secrets now, Scott.
Every time though.
Maybe they're not secrets.
Like it's there.
Maybe they're
I
not
have
secrets.
to touch it. I have to. Yeah.
Oh
wow! So you let him touch
but it's
other
kind
women?
of No, oh, you're talking about other women? No, I thought you were talking about me.
Oh.
Just kidding.
Yeah. No, the question.
I missed a part of that.
You definitely missed a part of that. Take another shot. My question was, do you point out to, like, if Lewis was like, oh, check out the rack on her, or what, like, how is that dynamic for you guys?
We don't, though. We don't ever do that with each other.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Does he do it with friends, though?
I don't know. We're not. I don't know. We're always with each other.
Lewis pleads the fifth. I will answer for him.
Yeah, I feel like that's pretty normal in the gay community to just be like, we're gonna check people out. It's natural.
Interesting.
Why hide it and not talk about it?
Yeah, see, this is what I want to learn more about. I honestly want our listeners to learn more about. And since we're getting into that, like you say, it's in the gay community. I think I might be gay. But listen, not sexually, Nick, not sexually. But I think I'm culturally gay. Does that make sense to you?
I see that. Not that I see it like right here, but
my gator is going off. You're definitely gay. Yeah. No, because listen. Like,
Chris is on Nick's gaydar for sure.
Yeah, like I feel like the word gay has transcended from a sexuality to a culture. I feel like gay is now a culture. Like you put pictures up from your cruise. I want to be gay so bad because you guys have so much fun. And like, listen,
we have a lot of straight people there.
I'm gay.
We're just a little extra gay. We did throw a pride party, so.
But like, I would do that. Like, I would do that. I'd sip out of a penis straw. I don't care what you do. Like, I don't care. The rainbow stuff. I love rainbow. My favorite time of year is when Under Armour comes out their Pride line, so I can buy all their T-shirts.
So sure, straight, but a little gay.
A little gay, culturally gay, like culture gay. Like, listen,
like I say,
I love my wife, but I'm culturally gay.
In general, like a lot of the straight community doesn't feel comfortable saying gay or saying I went to a gay bar. Like
especially in Florida.
Yeah, and I worked in the gay community for 8 years in marketing for beer and even
a gay marketing
agency.
Really?
There's only like 2
What's
of them.
That like?
So super gay. our meetings, we just have tea. That's all rainbows and unicorns at all of our meetings. But
it's amazing.
Chris, I can picture this marketing firm. There's just a bunch of ABBA playing.
See, but that's the thing. That's the thing. I love ABBA.
Google it. I mean, the agency is still out there. SPI Marketing out in New York City. They're amazing. But I mean, it's kind of true.
Are they amazing or are they fabulous?
Yeah. When we met with clients, we worked with Miller Lite and Coors Light. Absolute Vodka were like our 2 biggest ones. we had presentations for them that would teach them Gay 101. So we had a PowerPoint presentation on Gay 101. And it's teaching people it's simple things. What's a bear? What's a fag hag?
Whoa. Wait a second.
And that was one of my questions. That was
we're
actually
gonna
one
need
of my
Gay
questions.
101 right here. What's a
need
bear?
you to okay, so a bear is a big, hairy guy. I know that.
And that's the basics. That's 101.
Right.
It used to be just a big gay hairy guy. Now there's
different classifications.
Now there's classifications.
Okay, perfect. Because one of my Q and Gay questions were, what am I? A small, I guess, long hair, beard guy. And then what is Scott?
I think Sean said, what did he post in the chat?
Can Sean chime in here? And if Sean chimes in here in the chat,
he posted in the chat.
If you could classify myself, who's 5'6", on a good day, 5'5".
I think he said
with a beard and long hair. Right? Chris is a classic otter. I'm an otter. Hell yeah. I'm an otter.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm an otter. So what is that?
It's just a younger...
Chris, that's illegal. They're like, see that otter? Yeah, we can't touch them for at least 5 years.
I said in the chat, like,
unless you're Catholic.
I said, Sean, can you classify me? And it was no hesitation. I'm an otter.
He's got that down. I'm sure he's working on Scott right now.
And then what is Scott? Scott is a cub, but I'd have to see him shirtless to confirm.
Someone play some music real quick. I'm not very hairy, so I think cub would be pretty accurate.
Yeah. And then Sarah's just an ally. Sorry, Sarah. You're nothing.
She can be Goldilocks. There's Goldilocks.
So
there's panda bears, polar bears.
Oh man. See, Nick, we're gonna have to have you back on it because we're gonna have to. We need to.
I'll find the chart for you.
Please, yeah. I need to see where I fall on the spectrum of gay.
The spectrum of gay.
The spectrum of gay.
So we do have a question from the audience. Lewis from Daytona Beach wants to know. I like the Pitch Perfect movies. Am I gay?
No, there wasn't many gay characters in there. There's just musical.
But it's
I think
musical.
He's more asking it because he quotes it all the time and sings it,
Oh, he's quoting a musical.
He's probably just, I guess,
and
metrosexual. Is that still even a term?
I don't know.
I feel like it's kind of died down. Because
I would definitely classify her husband as metro.
Yeah, it's just like the straight guys were trying to mimic us, and it's a true fact that the gay community basically has started a lot of the cultural stuff that we've been through now, and we have a huge.
But and real quick, this is my real quick like serious moment. As much as we joke, and as much as like yes, there is a gay culture that a lot of us have embraced. We're still a long way from where we need to be as far as acceptance and as far as just loving each other. And so if you're listening to this episode and you're like, wait, this episode's too gay for me or whatever, then you probably live in Florida. And but listen, there's nothing wrong with Nick. Nick is a human being like all of us, and love is love, and acceptance is very important. And though we've come a long way, we're still a long way from where we need to be.
Well, Scott, that's part of why I joke about this whole thing is because I only joke about things that I'm comfortable with. I only joke about things that other people are comfortable with. So if you're not comfortable with this, then hey, this isn't the podcast for you. You know what I mean? Like this is just life. This is just normal life. I love that Nick is going to be an integral part of No New Friends After Dark.
I appreciate it, and it's a good essentially platform for me because I've never really been that comfortable talking about it until I'd say even 3 years ago that openly because of my therapy that I've been through and my therapy journey. Actually graduated from my therapist 2 months ago, which
is amazing. I don't think I will ever. Yeah. I will never graduate.
Yeah, my therapist stops halfway through. He's like, "How do you feel about moving these to as needed instead of monthly?" And I'm like, "Are you trying to fire me or are we breaking up? Like, what's going on?" But
mine always ends the meetings with "I'll see you next month."
Same time. I mean,
mine says "I'll see you tomorrow."
It's been a long journey that I've been through, and working in a gay marketing agency helped me in general to learn more about the gay community because there is a lot to learn even in our own community. There's so much segregation in our own community even as well too. So the fact that we've added letters to our alphabet over the past 5 years now. I feel it used to be just LGBT. Now if you want to do it different ways, there's Q plus, QIA. Like it's changed a lot, and we're still learning and getting comfortable talking about that.
So I was going to make a joke about that, but now I feel bad. I was going to say, hey, Nick, would you stop adding stripes to the flag? Because I'm tired of buying new shirts.
We had to buy new.
I'm tired of it.
Our flag ripped recently, so we had to buy a new one too. So
see, I feel like Big Gay, Big Pharma, Big Pharma. There's a Big Gay. And I feel like Big Gay keeps adding stripes so that I keep buying new T-shirts because I can't keep. It's more merchandise for the gay community.
We're smart. It's more marketing for us. It's more dollars in our pocket.
It's like, how many more colors can you come up with? And it's like, first of all, I admire that. I think that's a great marketing scheme. No, but
well, that's why the Jews created Hanukkah, is just to sell the merch around Christmas.
So
we get the tiniest, smallest section of anywhere.
you do.
And one color,
if that.
blue.
Awful. An end cap at best.
An end cap at best. Well, that's where you get the discounted display. That's why you buy the.
Yeah, right. Exactly. You don't have to pay full price. You're welcome.
So Nick, with all this being said, I think my last Q and gay question, because we are running short on time, right, Scott, my producer?
No, take as much time as you need.
Right,
this is After Dark.
Maybe,
who cares?
All right, maybe my last question of the night is, so in race relations recently, we've heard the term white guilt. You're familiar with that term, right? White guilt, like if you're white and you have all these privileges because you're white. Yeah. Do you have gay guilt since being gay is so damn cool now?
I haven't thought about it just because I'm surrounded by gay people. So I need more straight people in my life.
Well, listen. You have my number, and I'm very much in your life anyway. Because
I'll send you more packages.
But listen, I just feel like, and maybe it's because I'm from New Jersey. I feel like being gay is so cool, and it's because like Nick, you can post a picture of yourself with a Speedo. Hey, no problem. You have the confidence. You have the most confidence of anybody I know. You have the most fun of anybody I know. And yeah, you have your demons just like anybody else. You said but you graduated from those demons apparently because you graduated therapy.
Now I switched.
You've never heard of.
I switched to cannabis. So
listen.
Sarah switched a long time ago.
Scott, Nick, in the early 2000s, what did gay mean? If something was gay, it meant something was dumb or not cool, right?
Yeah, it used to be a saying that I said back in the day, and
right, everybody said it because it was something stupid or not cool, right? Now I want to start bringing it back for stuff that's cool. Like that thing is gay. Like that thing is awesome. Because but seriously, Nick, you have the most fun of anybody I know. You have the most confidence of anybody I know, and I aspire to be more like you. Like seriously, like seeing the pictures you post. When you were posting those pictures on your cruise, having your pride parties and stuff, I was like, damn, I got to go on a cruise with Nick. You guys just do it better.
Yeah, we just learned to vacation and just have a fun time with it. And I see so many people on their vacation, like, yeah, they're having fun, but I feel like it's forced fun.
Yeah. No, you genuinely love life. And I'm so happy that, that finally, and for the most part, I'll say, because I know there's a lot of, like Scott said, there's a lot of ways to go. For the most part, it's like gay marriage is accepted as anything else. You know what I mean? It's like, and you could just like, finally, you don't have to like hide anything. You just
and it's like I used to hold up a guard just talking to people. Like with my old job, I'd walk in selling liquor to bars, and it's usually straight bars, and just kind of talking about my family, and I mentioned my husband, but I always hold back like when I say the word my husband, and then I wait to see the kind of their reaction, if they're gonna like beat me up and kick me out, or if they're like gonna welcome me in and buy all my liquor. But it's changed a lot, and it's made me more comfortable when I see more people comfortable talking about it and having that communication.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Right. And I know that you see it way more than I would ever see it, obviously, because I'm straight,
super straight.
Yeah, but I'm
because
glad,
that's the thing is you and I can't say, oh, it's gotten better, or oh, it's what, because we don't live in that world, and we don't walk in Nick's shoes, or so we don't know. Yeah, I guess I say that because I can't see the other side of it. I can't see the other side.
And it's like,
no, we
know what I mean?
We see what we want to see. We see what's fabulous and how much fun they're having and how they can be themselves. And look, it took me a long time to just be myself. Look, I tell people all the time, I am a lesbian trapped in a dude's body.
I say that with the outfit.
Yeah.
That shirt you're wearing.
The only thing that makes me not gay is the fact that I don't want to S&D or get anything up my, it's just the sexual thing. Everything else, I love Broadway. I don't have a good fashion sense. But most of the other stereotypes I fall into.
I mean, you still drink
Bud
Light, though.
Love Judy Garland. Still drink Bud Light. I don't drink the seltzers, though. But anyway, I don't know what I was saying.
I mean, back to, kind of the topic of Ask a Gay is, I actually had a client come to my house earlier, and we were going over his trip that he's taken. He leaves tomorrow, a straight guy, and I could tell he has a military family, and he's kind of asking like how me and my husband met, and our daughter was here, and she's 5, and he was asking like when we got married, and he's like, did you get married out of state? I was like, yeah, we got married in California originally, because at the time in 2014 it wasn't legal across the country.
Yeah, which is crazy to think about.
And I told him, I was like, well, and it became illegal a year later. It's 2023, and he's like, I didn't realize the entire country was legal. So that communication, obviously, I followed it because I was listening to Twitter that morning to wait for the announcement from the Supreme Court. But the fact that people in 2023 still don't know that it's completely legal across the United States for us to be married. So, and we're still fighting it, unfortunately.
Honestly, I did, as much as of an ally, I didn't know that.
I didn't know
either.
Know that. I just assumed that some of these like far right states didn't have that.
Yeah, I think at the time we got married, I think there was like 17 or 18 states that it was legalized in. And then in 2015, it became legal across country.
It's
that's huge. Yeah. That's huge.
And that's why Pride Month came out June every summer. We have an entire month now. So,
but just to piggyback on some of that is this the whole Q and gay thing. I don't want anyone to think we're poking fun at the gay community. This is to like I call Scott fat every episode. Listen, like I call Scott fat every episode. Like, listen. It's a joke.
We're celebrating fat people.
And I'm saying that because he's my friend because I love him. Listen, Nick is a friend of the podcast. We love him. We joke about this because we want to educate people too. You know what I mean? Like this is a good way to laugh and be educated at the same time. And Nick, thank you so much for being so open about all this. I admire your courage. It's crazy.
You guys were like.
You know what I mean?
You're like free therapy for me now, so just tell you all my crap.
Well, you'll get the bill in the mail, trust me. But,
send it to samehypervacations.com.
In fact, check your email. I think the bill's already there.
But listen, like, I admire you as a person. I admire your courage. I admire your openness because everyone should be like you. Seriously. Because there's nothing to hide. There's nothing. And everyone, I just can't wait until the day that everyone thinks the same way we all do on this program. You know what I mean? It's just unnecessary to think otherwise. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. We do have a question from one of our co-hosts, Mary, who couldn't be here tonight because she has a farm exam tomorrow or something. So
farm exam or a pharmacy exam?
I don't know, pharmacology. First of all, your husband has been absolute fire in the chat all night, and I wish I could read everything he said. But one of the main things he said that was really hilarious was that Mexican and butt stuff does not mix.
Yeah. Whenever Chipotle is involved that day, we're not.
It's just like I'm going to bed early. Yeah, I'm going to bed early. So I don't know if you're into. I don't know how to say this other than
just ask the goddamn question. You're turning into a biggest pussy right now
because listen, I know I wouldn't say this to a guy. I wouldn't say this to a girl. This is just weird for me to say. So Mary wants to know. Mary from the No New Friends podcast wants to know when you or anyone that you know use a butt plug. Do you put it in the freezer first?
I've not tried that before.
So maybe you should.
I've heard of ice cubes. I've heard from a friend.
So either you're welcome or I'm sorry.
So yeah,
I'll be right back. I gotta put something in the freezer real quick.
So we're gonna put a pin in that and circle back because I do want to know the answer just for science.
I'll report back next week.
First of all, Mary just texted me, "You're welcome." I don't know what that means, but Nick, thank you so much for week in and week out. First of all, being a good sport on the segment we have on our actual show with all the outrageous stuff I say that you know how to do and that you've sent me. And listen, for our listeners at home, half of that could be true. Most of it could be true. I don't know. Maybe we weren't talking about pudding with that spotted dick. Maybe. Listen, no one will ever know. Maybe it was pudding. I don't know. Join the Patreon. Maybe you'll find out. Tonight we're going to get canceled.
We'll call it the Big Gay Patreon.
Can we add like a new platform or level to Patreon?
A new tier? Yeah. What do you want to do?
The Rainbow Collection.
Oh, okay.
We'll add a new channel of just gay Q&A, and we're gonna listen, because honestly, seriously, like
now I have an idea for the third episode of the week.
All jokes aside, so Ryan just said the Rainbow Connection. There we go. So honestly, all jokes aside, if anybody has any gay Q&A questions, because listen, Nick, I don't know if you know this, because you probably don't, because you're not straight. There's a lot of questions that straight guys wonder. And I know there's a million more questions that I wonder. Like that, dude, I'm telling you, man. That sit on the dick question was burning.
We just ask them in the gay community.
Yeah, see?
We just ask anybody random questions.
And that's why the gay community is awesome. Because yeah, exactly.
Because if we did that to the opposite sex, we'd get arrested. Right, Scott?
See, now you get to be the resident gay while I'm the resident Jew. So they get all their
There we go. There we go.
We are learning so much on this show. Yeah.
Religion and sexuality. That's two great topics to hit.
Next, we're going to get into politics. Chris, why are you a Republican?
So, not because of the gay stance. I'll tell you that much. So, strictly for taxes. So, Sean messages in the chat and says, if you freeze a butt plug, then it can jack up the remote control option. I think that, listen, if you have a remote control butt plug, that's going to be a topic for another episode, because that's something we have to dive into that. Not me, but I will listen. Scott will dive into that.
That's on Gay 103.
That's Gay 103.
Stay tuned.
So anyway, I think that's enough. I think it's enough anything for tonight. I want to leave you guys hanging. This was fun.
Go to break and we'll come back with a little bit more.
Oh, we're doing one more segment.
Yes.
This was a long segment.
Scott just gave me the tip. I'm going to give you the rest of it, I guess, next. We'll be right back with No New Friends After Dark.
Psst. Hey, you want to join a cult? Well, this might be your lucky day. For just $2 a month and a simple blood oath, you can join our clubhouse and become a friend with benefits. In addition to the amazing feeling of donating to the poor, you will have access to Patreon exclusive content, live shows, and maybe even a behind-the-scenes look at my secret stash. To get started, head on over to NoNewFriendsPodcast.com and hit join our clubhouse. Can't wait to see you at the initiation ceremony. Oh, and in the chat during our live shows, of course.
All right, we are now back with No New Friends After Dark. I hope you liked those commercials. They were great, right, Scott? Really
just one commercial during that break.
I hope
and it was probably Sarah talking about Patreon.
Yep, join our Patreon. if you're not on a Patreon by now, just stop listening, because you won't be able to hear the rest of the episode unless you join Patreon.
That's not true. Stop it.
It is true. Just wait. So anyway, this is the end of the episode, guys. I'm sorry that this is the end. Well, listen, this is the end of the shaft of the episode. Nick, first of all, speaking about that, we have a lot of questions. But guess what, guys? We're not going to ask him tonight. We're going to ask him another time. Nick from Sandpiper is going to be balling with us a lot more. You thought tonight was gay? It's going to get gayer, right, Nick?
I got a lot of gayness to pull out.
Way more. It's gonna get way, way gayer, and maybe in a future episode we're gonna see who's gayer, an actual gay person or Scott. So that's plenty to come too. Nick, again, I said this 1,000 times. Thank you so much for coming on and talking about everything you talked about. Thank you for being a good sport. This was awesome. I cannot wait for future episodes.
It really does mean a lot, and it's like I said, it means a lot having a straight person asking questions because.
Whoa!
Speaking of,
what's going on over here? I see a muscular. Hey, Sean! Look at that. The cut sleeves. All right, I may be more gay than I thought.
The husband just came in, brought me some banana bread. It's not homemade. We're not that gay. Just we didn't learn that during COVID. We're busy.
So before we get back into the funny stuff, Nick, go ahead and finish up what you were saying.
I don't even know. I just got sidetracked.
Your husband just barged in with his big banana bread, and then
his large loaf came in here and distracted me with some bananas.
Well, Nick, we've been talking about for a long time about how you wanted to do a podcast, kind of revolved around like gay traveling, right? Like traveling within the gay community.
Yeah, my passion is obviously travel. I've been in the travel industry for 5 years now, and I worked in a gay marketing agency for 8 years, and unfortunately I was laid off. But I want to make sure I find safe places for the gay community to travel. Unfortunately, there's a lot of the Caribbean is not really safe for the gay community. There's
that's the first I'm hearing of this. Actually, I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, like places like Jamaica is still
canceled.
Yeah, it's like
cancel Jamaica.
Fuck Jamaica.
Michigan.
Although
can we talk about Michigan? Yeah. We're not sending people to Michigan. Just by the way.
Yeah.
Maybe
if you listen to the last episode, do not book your vacation to Michigan.
Who books a vacation to Michigan?
No one.
They have
racists.
They have lakes. I don't know.
Homophobes
and nut butter.
They have lakes and cream nuts.
That what's really surprising about that, and not to get political because we're about to wrap up the show, and this is a whole nother debate. But Michigan is a primarily blue state.
We'll talk more about that next episode. They're blue because of the lakes,
yes.
Scott.
So is that it? Okay.
But Nick, if you never, ever, because I know you were interested in doing podcasts, if you never did a podcast ever, I'm glad that you were able to have an outlet here with us. Because I think what you have to say is super important, and doing a podcast is hard, man. It's a lot of work.
We were planning to start one, and unfortunately, my husband's been having more health issues on top of health issues he's already had for quite a few years now. But eventually, we'll get one started up. But I appreciate you guys allowing me on here. And
yeah, man.
Of course, you are. You are welcome on After Dark every week,
literally every week. And until you can start your own podcast, this is your safe space. This is your space to preach what you have to say.
I don't have a lot of straight friends, honestly. At least that I communicate with often.
Well, honestly,
you can communicate with us all the time.
I can speak on behalf of all of us. Say we are honored to be your few straight friends, because I'm honored to have you as a gay friend. Because I don't have any gay male friends. Women friends, I don't know, man.
You can take half of my gay friends, or too much drama. that's another episode.
And trust me, we'll get to that, because listen, we gotta pick your brain. We gotta pick your brain even more. But until we can pick your brain more, we gotta pick the brain of Scott, who I think has some a version of, I guess we're gonna call them Scott's summaries. They're gonna be like
Scott
a Christmas
summaries.
Cliff notes. Yeah. So please, Scott, go on, and please don't get us canceled.
So buckle in. Some of these are good. Some of these are not. Some of these are stolen. Okay. So we talked a lot about Chris's weight gains and all that. And Chris, I feel what you're going through. And funny enough, Chris has never gotten COVID, which is amazing because his wife got COVID and he didn't get COVID. His sister got COVID. Brother-in-law got COVID. Everybody got COVID. Chris has not gotten COVID. Chris, you may be immune to COVID, but you sure as hell are not immune to diabetes. I said earlier that if my marriage does not work out, I would turn gay to hang out with a buddy all day. Chris, call me 407-906-0543.
I'll be your otter, baby.
And I'll be your cub. Nick, you were in alcohol, you sold beer and all that. I have some beer ideas for you, okay? And these will be like No New Friends exclusive beers. Tell me if they would sell, okay? We've got Jews Brews and Two Fat Guys Brewing.
We already have a fat head burn, don't we? It's kind of the same thing.
Scott, that's your beer. That's your beer company, right?
Yeah. Nick, I'm really glad that you started the business anywhere but Florida. If it was in Florida, you'd be calling it Crack Viper Vacations.
Don't quit your day job.
Whatever, you guys are laughing. Chris has put on so much weight that Brendan Fraser is very concerned about losing his Oscar for the film Whale.
I'm trying not to laugh loud so I don't get divorced.
Chris asked Nick if he would rather eat cake or eat dick. Chris obviously said he would eat cake. Chris, we know you would choose the goddamn cake. We all agreed that we like boobs, okay? Chris liked boobs so much, he started to try to grow them.
Oh my goodness.
And those are my summaries.
Thank you so much, Scott. So what do you have going on Disses this week?
Well, on this is we're gonna.
Oh, that was really good.
I got one more, Chris. You just said you don't want to get divorced. I'd be less concerned about getting divorced over the noise and more concerned about you getting divorced over the weight gain.
Trust me, I don't need to be worried about that because you're still married.
See what my husband just posted.
Let me see.
Sean wants to motorboat your B cups.
See, dude, the gays are so much cooler. If I said that, I'd be divorced. Seriously. We're just questioned very harshly. I was talking about Scott. But he did say B and not D. So Sean says Chris's laughs are legit the best. Does that make you jealous, Nick? I'm just kidding. So anyway, I have been messaging your husband on Facebook, and I think I missed a message from a couple of days ago, which I have to look back on. Sean, if you're listening to this, I'm so sorry. I'm very bad at texting people back. Ask Scott. Who's waiting for a text back on potential topics for 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Nick. If I was gay, Sean would be my type. Sorry, just have to say
I
it.
get that. You can take him. He's all yours.
Me and your husband are. Go ahead.
Just bring cake.
Me and Sean are messaging about stuff, and I'm talking about house hunting, and Emily's like, "Oh, we need a whole another room for all your collectibles." It's like, man, that's a really good wife. I think he might go straight, Sean. Nick.
I'm not supportive of his collectibles.
Oh, he's told me. So anyway, next week on marriage counseling, we will be. So if you guys are still listening, thank you so much. If you're still listening, so this is an important episode. I feel like we had a lot of laughs. We had a lot of important stuff being talked about. This was a really fun episode. I had a lot of fun this episode. Very educational, very fun. Scott's summaries. Listen, Chris's Cliff Notes and Scott's summaries. If anybody has a better name, let us know. Just alliteration.
Chris's Cliff Notes is gonna stick. That's amazing.
Well, that's already on T-shirts. That's already on T-shirts.
Yeah.
So don't.
And it's a jingle.
Yeah. If you have a better name for Chris's Cliff Notes, then go fuck yourself.
Keep it to yourself.
Scott, yours could be like just the tips.
Just the tip.
Just a tiny little tip.
I love it.
All right, guys. On behalf, I'm just going to steal Scott's outro because I don't know how to do an outro. I'm not a host. On behalf of Sarah, Scott, our resident, no, not resident gay.
Our emotional
support gay and resident gay. Hopefully regular gay. Nick from Sandpaper Vacations. I'm Chris, but you already knew that because Scott paid for a jingle for me. We will see you next week.
hardest I've laughed in a while.
Ryan
Just
says,
your-
Chris, you're twice the man you were when I met you. Literally. And then Lewis goes, Chris, great job on being the bigger man.
No New Friends After Dark has been brought to you by Sandpiper Vacations. SandpiperVacations.com. Just check out our website, NoNewFriendsPodcast.com. Become a friend with benefits. Check out our sweet merch and so much more. This has been a No New Friends Entertainment LLC production.